this one go up. But
yeah.
I think I just didn't. I haven't got the firm grip of what you meant with the torso movement.
Well, you know, the whole thing, you've got to have a complete concept. It's if you just take a little piece, I mean, it may work, it may not work, you know, because what you don't want is, I mean, you've come a long way. We don't want to give you just a couple of tips, okay?
Yes, yeah.
We want to give you something which is
Holistic.
Yeah, a blueprint.
Yeah.
So you have something that you can take away with you and work on over the long period, and then, you know, not so much correct yourself, but certainly, I mean, it would be advisable once we've done our work over the next 2 days is that you at times will video your own swing,
yeah.
and then you can then, you know, we'll give you obviously a model, even though it may be in practice swings and so on, because, you know, even in 2 days you're not going to get it perfect.
No,
but
that's not my goal.
But the whole deal is really that you get a plan.
Yes.
And so once you've got that plan, then from there you can really improve. Because if you're going to go, I mean, you like to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, if you're going to practice, you got to practice the right things. Otherwise, you're just practicing your faults.
Fault. Yeah,
And you're ingraining them.
The
Yeah.
mistake,
Yeah. So you just practice. I mean, you see that quite often with people. When people get older and they retire from work and they want to play a lot of golf, then they start practicing a lot. They get worse
Yes.
because they're practicing their errors. And so it's really important when you practice, you know what you're practicing, especially in a short game too. I mean, there's so many areas in the short game that, you know, as I'm sure that you'll be exposed to that, I mean, because this is obviously part of the game, but I mean, if you're really going to score and get your handicap way down,
Game within the game.
Right, you've got to have a good short game. I mean, and putting is a whole separate deal because I mean, you can hit the ball great, and if you don't knock the putts in, or you three putt all over the place, it's obviously going to affect your score. So,
sounds like me.
So, you know, the thing is with golf, it's an all-encompassing sport. I mean, it's not just one thing. I mean, the difficulty in golf is that the difficult part is getting all the components working together on any given day. Because you might drive the ball well, you hit your irons badly. You hit your irons okay, you're not driving well. Okay, your long game is good, your short game is bad. Everything else is good, but your putting's terrible. You know, and when you get it all together, you know, that's great. But so the thing is, you have to work a little bit in each area. You can't just work purely on your swing and forget your short game, or purely on your short game and forget your swing. You've got to really utilize your practice time correctly, and you have a plan. So okay, I'm going to work on this, and this, and we'll help to prescribe a sort of a practice plan for you as well, because that gives you an idea of what you want to work on, and some of it you can do at home too. You can, you know, do some stuff in a mirror, which is great practice. You don't just have to go out and hit balls all the time. Hitting balls is, yes, it's important certainly, but also you can do some things, just some drills.
The wall, as you saw in the video.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them.
And the bottom.
Yeah,
wall,
yeah, right, yeah. So, you know, lots of little drills, and a lot of these drills are designed specifically for you. I mean, we've got dozens of drills, and some of them are good for some problems, some of them are good for other problems, or some people or other people. So, it's the thing is, if you take everything that I've said, you know, you'll be totally mixed up. So, what we're going to try to do is simplify it and make sure everything is geared towards you.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, based on your skill level, how much time you have to play and practice, and we'll talk about that, and your talent level, your build. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into designing a game, and that's really what it is. You're designing a game for you and seeing how far you can take it.
Okay.
You know? So anyway, I know they've looked at your equipment a little bit. You've got some Japanese clubs, huh?
Yeah, Japanese club.
What's it, one-on-one or something?
On-off.
On-off, on-off.
Yeah.
Oh, on-off.
On-off.
Oh, okay.
Played by Shingo Katayama.
Oh, yeah, okay,
The
Shingo.
guy with cowboy hat.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has more teaching aids than... Have you seen him? He's unbelievable. He has strings and balls and shaft planes and... Oh, my goodness, he's unreal. Okay, all right, so... that's what I'd like to do, is just watch you hit a few balls just for a few minutes, and then we'll go inside and we'll get started.
Yes, sir.
All right, Toro, quick summary here of your video analysis with David. I'm just going to briefly summarize some of the key points. Obviously at address here, we're using Trevor on the right as a model, Trevor Immelman. And the big thing David obviously highlighted was sort of the uprightness of your posture here. Everything sort of in a very straight line, a little bit rigid through the body, and certainly out the shoulders, down the arms. So holding it very tightly, standing a little bit erect. You can see Trevor's a little softer, a little bit more athletic with his lines and angles, and then the hands and arms hanging a lot softer from the shoulders, which makes it easier to keep the hands low moving away, which is key for you going forward, and also keeping the club head out in front of the hands initially as you start it back. Also notice the eye line, how high yours are and how relaxed his eye line is toward the ball. So really wanted to get you into a more athletic, softer posture there, lower hands, arms hanging in a relaxed fashion, and you'll be in great shape. So you can see from this very erect posture, stiff arms, you can see although you had a nice start, the club quickly got underplaned early here. A very high luck to the arms, very early turned, very flat luck to the shaft plane at this point. And as we get halfway back, you can see Trevor start early on. Easy to keep the hands in and the club head out. So halfway back, hands in the center of the chest. Club sitting nicely on plane, never going underneath the plane line. Yours is, if you will, skipped under it rather early as a result of the way you stood and certainly initiated the golf swing there. So you can see very flat left arm plane, very flat shoulder plane. As you complete to the top, the arms tend to run on, a little bit overly rotated through the upper body. The arms certainly over swinging along with your midsection there. You can see as Trevor completes, a lot more sort of ground up balance through the middle of the feet. And now as you start down, sort of a big move out toward the front of the feet. Although the club comes down on a fairly shallow plane, your momentum or your balance point is working out toward the ball, so you can see you're having to stand up in an effort to sort of shallow it, which you do a fantastic job of. You can see in Trevor's case able to maintain a spine angle and rotate around it, and so a lot more consistency there as a result of that. You can see you may, with this move, and we'll see from the face on that there's early release associated with this overswing going back, that you can certainly hit a lot of shots with a different bottom of the swing, hitting them fat, possibly thin. But you do compensate well. You're very athletic in your golf swing. We just want to make it more efficient and certainly simplified. So let's have a look from the face-on position here with Trevor and yourself. So we can see a lot more tension in your position with the arms addressed. Notice his forearms much softer, hands are lower. Eyes are a little bit more down. Spine angle, in his case, is tilted a little bit more to the right with the right arm sitting underneath. And that's really a function of your grip. Your left hand tends to be in a weak position, which gets the right side of your body a little bit too high and gives you that look where your spine is very straight up and down there. So getting that left hand grip more in the fingers, relaxing the right arm more underneath, big key in your session with David. So as we start back here, we can see with that palmy grip and that rolly high start, very difficult to sort of keep the hands down, get the club up through the setting of the wrist. So we want to get you creating more leverage earlier on in the golf swing and completing the backswing with your turn such that you have a nice compact look. The left arm maybe toward about 10, 10:30. In your case, your left arm sort of ends up breaking down as a result of you not having the club in a loaded position halfway back. So in order to get it loaded, you essentially have to overswing, and part of that overswing, the function of it is you're setting the club almost through your elbows as opposed through your wrists as Trevor's doing. So you can see he has a much more braced look through his left arm. Not necessarily rigid, but just more length and certainly more braced. Now as you come down, in order to match up and synchronize with your body, you're tending to having to throw the club a little bit back to the ball, so you lose a lot of your lag angle into the ball there, Toro. You can see in Trevor's case, leading with the back of the left hand, a very sort of common denominator amongst great ball strikers, and then onto a finished position where he's fully released and into a balanced position. In your case, a little bit scoopy as you overuse your body there. So we really wanted to take out really removing a lot of unwanted motion and tension from your golf swing in a nutshell. Let's look at some of the key components there, starting with the grip. So we can see Trevor's on the right, your initial one on the left. We want to get these V's lined up a little better. So we can see the V on the left hand toward the right ear, the V on the right hand toward the right shoulder. In your case, The right hand is pretty good, but the left hand going in an opposite direction because of it sitting high in the palm. So once we sorted out your grip, we really focused on working with the swing setter, which is going to be really a key component to you improving and working toward the outline David has worked with you on today. So let's go ahead and have a look at some initial footage versus the swing setter. We can see softer arms, more in the fingers of the left hand, starting it forward to create momentum. Nice set position there halfway back. You can see a much different look, not nearly as rolly, not nearly as long at the top, certainly none of the breakdown that we're seeing. So you can see in a short space of time you really got yourself into a much better position, and also the back position wasn't nearly as compromised, meaning the angle in your upper and lower back there. So you can see this sort of arch here, better line here off the left hip up toward the shoulder, more of a lean away from the target as opposed to a lean toward it. So very good top of the back position. Starting down, you can see good grounding through the left foot, keeping those hands leading the swing setter, the bottom of it there. In this case, you can see a much different position in your initial images where the hands are quickly passed by the club as you scoop the ball away, which is why your trajectory was quite high, particularly with the irons. We would like to see, though, going forward, that the right foot stays down just a little longer there for sure. And you can see on the exit here a lot more release in the follow through onto a balanced finish position. So your swing setter is going to be a real key component to certainly nailing the posture, nailing the start of the swing, and ultimately simplifying your golf swing, shortening it up, tightening it up in the right areas. As we look from down the line, we can see you're in a much more athletic position here, softer in the knees, tilted more from the hips, eyes a little lower, looking down toward the golf ball. So in a much better position to start off with. You can see now you're starting to really crank the wrist, so the club's lying on a better plane halfway back, not nearly as flat, working into a top of the backswing position that's remarkably shorter, certainly matches your build instead of this overswing, and then coming down on a good line, albeit again we just want to keep this right foot a little bit more grounded as you start down, but overall beautiful release. You can see sort of an upper body movement toward the ball, which gives you this chicken wing look with your left arm through here. So the club's really not swinging and releasing as well as it could onto your finished position. And check out the rear view, just an interesting angle to see body motion and length of swing. So if we look at your rear view with the swing setter versus your initial rear view, we can see again that little lean leftward with the spine there as opposed to that nice lean away from the target here. Just a subtle lean with the right hand and arm sitting more underneath. And then as a result of this long swing where your arms carry on and that slightly tilted posture, you can see really a compromised position. The arms traveling too far, the back very twisted. But you can see a much more compact position, the arms in much more synchronized look relative to where your body is. So a full turn, short arm swing, really a key goal for you in your backswing. And if you can do that, if you can have a short arm swing with a full turn, as you're demonstrating here on the right, Toro, you'll match up so much better back to the ball with a nice lead there, the hands leading the club head instead of passing it. You won't look nearly as scoopy or as compromised with your release there through the left arm. Here on the right, much more release, folding of the arm onto a nice balanced position. So the swing setter is really going to play a huge role in tidying up your full swing and working on all the key positions we've talked about and outlined in your DVD. All right, great job, and I'll turn it over to David on your last index here, a live one where he summarizes all of this session out on the tee. Great job.
Okay, so we've got the grip. Make sure the grip towards, say, fingers of the left hand, and you know how to bring your left hand on once you held it with your right hand. It's got to come from 90, not from underneath.
Yes.
You know where the arrows are supposed to point. We've got, so don't throw this glove away here, Toro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now.
The arrow should point my right eye.
Yeah, and this one
and
towards
this
your
one
right ear.
My ear.
All right.
And then bend forward.
Bend forward from the hips, exactly, relaxing the right arm.
Relaxing right arm, stay close to the body.
Yeah, hands are lower here. So you have an angle formed here now, you see? Okay, your head is down and slightly to the right.
The weight is on the heel.
Yeah, although you're bent forward from the hips, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so relaxing the arms, no tension there. So your hands are very slightly ahead of the dress, which is great. Now, as we work it away, the hands are staying inside this. We pictured, imagine, we're under a shelf and inside the shelf. So it's under here. Good. Hands are inside. Club head is outside, right?
Oh, yeah.
Your middle's moving. The shoulder feels low. Everything feels low. Okay, the butt of the club is low. This is low. The end of the club is pointing at or slightly inside the target line. Okay, the target line being the line that the ball is on to your target. This is lower, as we said, shoulders lower. The club feels light. When it's here, it's heavy. Okay, so you've got a full set there. And basically, as you're turning on this axis, so you keep your spine angle here, that's as far as you can go. You see, it's hard to turn anymore if this shoulder just keeps working back and under your chin. Now we're moving into the left side here, okay? And we're feeling, especially with the wedge, and say there's a little different beast with the wedge. It's a miniature swing, no question, but we're going to be standing maybe a little bit more open with your lower body, but ostensibly the technique is the same. So we're here, we're allowing your upper body to rotate through, keeping your foot on the ground, and then as you release it here, you can see you're releasing it this way, not that way. Okay, very different. As a consequence of that, your club is going to finish more around yourself here. You can see where the club is. It's more in this position rather than sort of just slopping down your back. All right? Yeah, there you go. That's it. Now remember, so especially with the wedge play, you're going to feel like the turning of your upper body is going to pull your foot off the ground. And you get your speed through your rotation, not through trying to use your hands. Okay, so right, let's have a couple of practice swings. Looking very, very good at address. I mean, you've really done a great job there. Great job. Now as you rehearse it, okay, you may feel that you've got a cover. You can even put one of your little iron covers under there, especially with a wedge. It's not with a full swing, it's going to come out. So, right, so address it. There we go, there, hold it there. That's it. So you can see there's a half swing, so you can stay in there quite comfortably on this length swing. So now as we go through here, that's it, turn, 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 keep the foot down a little longer. That's it, so you're rolling from the inside of the foot, that's it. And there she goes. That's great. Right, just relax. So we might have a little, so we're going to obviously work on getting a little kick going to start your swing, which is the same as start. Remember, the little drill we've given you really is where you start forward from here, and this adds a little momentum to the thing. And what we're doing here in reality is turning your middle, okay, without turning your hips. Okay, sounds funny to say that, but that's really what's happening. And then the whole key, once you've done this and you've got that little speed in the head, which we've done very nicely with the swing setter, okay, you keep a little resistance there. Now, okay, now swing through now. Now go. Hold it there. Foot down a little longer. That right heel. Okay, that's just an old habit, don't worry. Okay, again. Be very careful how you make that backswing, okay? You want to make this a little bit more deliberate here, okay? You don't want to do this, okay? I want to get it down. All right, everything feels low. Hands feel low. Inside, underneath the shelf. That was better. That was much better there. I like it. Hold it there. Hold it. Once more. Okay, right, let's hit a couple. So with the wedge shot, we're going to stand a little open. Just a little with your feet. Everything else is pretty square. You're closer to the ball than you were. Good posture though. Very good posture. That's it. Come on. Angle. That's it. Nice. Just relax there. All right. We're ready to get this into motion here. Off we go. Come on. Hold it. See, look at the foot.
Wrong. Still wrong.
So when you finish the shot here, Let's see if you can finish with the foot almost at an angle like that. Okay, just have a practice swing.
Okay.
Yeah, just gotta quieten that foot down. It's just been a
Old habit.
yeah, and I'd say,
Bad habit.
and the reason you had that is just because of the fact that you didn't have enough leverage through here. Come on, down we go, down, down, down. That's it. Good. You're going to feel much lower there. That's it.
Oh.
Okay, foot. Okay, that's all right. Okay, a little shorter follow through now. Okay, turn your chest through and shorten your follow through. Hold it there, hold it here, just here. Stop here, stop here.
Oh.
Okay, we don't need a long follow through at all. All right. Okay, a little lower, that was better. Okay. Again. Hold it. Okay, now look.
Yeah.
All right. That's okay. That's all right. That's fine. You're doing fine. Yeah. So, grab your wrist like this. This is a good little exercise. I'm going to give you a little drill here. This is a very good exercise for you. Now watch. There. See how this is pushing this down? Okay, now here, what? That's it. You feel the weight of it there, right there. Hold it. Hold it. That's where you want to be. Right there. That's a great exercise for you. Right, do that again. All right, so push it low. That's it. So, again.
Push my left.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
That's it. You feel? There you are. Yeah, that's it. Now you're getting it. Push. That's it. Good. Again. Push. Yes. Nice. That looks better there, Bob. Nice. You feel the difference there?
Yeah.
Feel the balance? Okay, now both hands on there. Same feeling. Hold it. Yeah, much better. That was really good. Okay, a little active with the foot there, and try to do each one a little slower. Don't have to rush it. Okay, a little more oomph with your chest through the ball. Come on, go. More speed.
Speed.
Through the ball with your chest. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it. Don't be afraid to. Okay, a little bit lazy that backswing. So you've got to get the two right now. Okay, you can always just do a few of these in between. You can do it with a full, doesn't matter what club you got. That exercise is great for you. So,
Okay.
all right. So once more, just take a little breather. So grab your wrist there for me. Do that little drill. Okay, grab this. Do this.
Oh yeah.
All right, now smoothly. The butt of the club goes in and low. Hold it. Ooh, nice. See that's ideal for you. You can see. I mean, look where your hands are. Look. See, that's no exaggeration either. That's perfect. Better. Little, not quite. Hold it.
Wow.
I know, it's habit. Where's Chris this afternoon? Huh?
Chest.
Look in the mirror. Make sure it's right.
On the backswing.
On the backswing.
Yes.
The shaft angle.
Hold it. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's what you got to do. It's okay. Better. It's getting better. It's not perfect yet. Hold it there. Hold it. Look where it is.
Okay, sir. Maybe if I do it slower.
Yeah, do it slower right now, for sure. Yeah, you don't have to. Choke down on the club. Choke down on the club a little bit more. Good. I like that. It's just, you've got to rehearse this, okay? There's no substitute for doing it over and over in the right way in the beginning, because as I say, hitting balls, the problem is your mind is focused on the golf ball rather than more on the technique. Right now it's more technique than anything else.
Yes.
If you hit good shots, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
But the basic fact is that we want to get this right. We've got to get, as I said to you earlier, the whole key for you is getting started correctly at address and making the start of the swing itself right. So when you're back to halfway, we want to be absolutely in position here, because this now, that's it there, good. Now we just simply turn a little more here, and now off we let it go. Hold it there. Very good, excellent. All right, so you can hit a couple. You okay?
I'm okay. But this never fell off.
That's okay, we're going to take it away now, that's fine.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Well, just little half swings, okay? We're not worried about where the ball goes. Okay, open up your feet just a little bit more. Okay. That was a very, very good effort there. Like that one, huh?
Yeah, terrific.
Do you feel a difference on that?
I feel very light. I don't have to, normally, maybe Bob saw me earlier, my shot actually very, not effortless, but I need a lot of effort
To get a short distance, yeah. Well, if you do this correctly, I mean, in a sense, the weight of the club is going to do it for you. All you've got to do is add a little momentum with it by just letting your body rotate, that's all.
Can I do it again?
Sure you can, about another 1,000,000 times.
Okay.
All right.
Keep it low on the shelf, under the shelf, inside the shelf.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. There you go. You're getting it. It's a matter of putting it all together. I mean, it's a little scary because there's a whole different protocol here. Okay, it's I mean, from the grip, the setup, I mean, it's very different, and one's not quite sure what to expect. So that's why in the beginning I don't really care about exact distance, the exact direction. It's just making contact with it so you can feel, okay, I mean, it's boring not hitting a good ball. I mean, everyone wants to hit a ball. So if you can, yes, do a lot of rehearsal swings. The swing setter is fabulous for you. It really is. It's terrific. And you know, the whole key really here now is that you're starting to get an understanding of what should be taking place here.
Yes. And this is a miniature swing of the big swing.
Exactly right. Exactly. So we're going to hit another one here, then we're going to hit a couple of the bigger swings. Good. That's it. Very nice. Good. Well done. Well done. Now, your right foot's still a little bit active, but that's okay. You know, we're not going to criticize you too much. Listen, it's hard. I mean, and especially when you start to hit these little shots, I mean, we're talking about maybe 40, 50 meters. I mean, you know, here, there's no reason at all that you cannot just keep that down.
Okay,
you know?
I will try now. Give me a chance.
All right. You want to hit a little short one?
Yes.
Okay.
Without any foot movement.
All right. Okay. But the swing needs to be, okay, remember, okay, so, okay, here we go, that's perfect, okay? All right, yeah, that was a good attempt, that was good, much better. All right, let's hit a slightly longer club here. We're going to hit a 6-iron, which they've made up for you, because it's shorter. It's a little shorter and a little flatter. You know, it's very important that you have a club that's going to fit you. I mean, it's no good you trying to develop a swing around a club that fits me. Okay, I'm a lot taller than you, and it's obviously my club would not necessarily fit you. Okay, so the problem has been, especially with the length of the club and the fact it was a little too upright, it's forced your posture into a very upright position.
Yes.
And now if you use that same club and try to get into this posture here,
Different lie angle.
yeah, the lie angle is totally messed up. So,
Yep.
okay. All right, so now. Feet a little wider, okay, a little wider with a 6-iron, a little more, a little more. There you go, just it's a comfortable position where you just feel it's narrow enough to give you good balance, or wide enough to give you good balance, but narrow enough where you can actually move, you see, right, so that's it. You're looking excellent at the dress, mate. There you go, see how this is underneath you? Do you feel that there? Right now, you can see it's, okay, fully set at this point. In your mind's eye, once you hear the click, that's why the more you use the swing setter, the more it's going to help you to ascertain when you start forward. Okay, now we move forward and feel that pressure down through that front foot here right now. Now turn your chest through, turn through all the way through. Right, that's it. Very good there. Good job. Okay, have a full practice swing now. Go ahead. Okay, let's go and see what you got going here now, Toro. All right, let's see. Well, how'd that feel to you?
Effortless.
Different?
Different, much different.
Yeah.
Except for the beginning where you felt your back muscle is
A little tight.
hurting you.
Yeah. Well, you're using different muscles. So it's not a case of necessarily it's wrong, it's just uncomfortable to start with, okay? And you've got to get those muscles stronger.
Yes.
Okay, so our workout guy this afternoon will help you out with that a little bit.
Keep low.
Getting better.
I thought it fooled me. I thought that was a real one, and I looked up, saw the club on parallel there. I was like, wow, that's nice.
You're doing great. So remember, when you mentally hear the click, you're going to go.
Forward.
Yep. Okay, the grip moves. Come on. The grip moves in and low. Oh, what a difference. Very good. I mean, you're making some great progress there. You know, seriously, in half a day, I mean, you've changed your swing. I mean, it's not perfect yet. You've got a little ways to go, but you know what? It's like the whole thing is have a blueprint, have a plan. If you can have that plan, you can progress like you can't believe. If we just gave you a couple of tips, it might work for the next round, but it's not going to work on a long-term basis. So you're doing really, really well. Well done.
All right, Toro, let's have a look at some short game here. So I want to do a little summary of some of the key points David mentioned over the 4 areas of your short game: your putting, your chipping, your pitching, and your sand play. So let's start with putting here. So you can see David's got you in a position there that's certainly a lot more square and organized. On the left-hand side here is the initial images we captured. The thing that we notice here is that your head position is very forward, your upper body and arm segment very open, and the ball position is very forward. So for that reason, in this particular instance, you can see as you go ahead and strike the putt, you can see the ball is being struck quite a ways out of the toe. So again, in terms of reading greens and having consistent speed, you want to hit solid putts as opposed to, if you will, a glancing blow, which is what you're doing here, hitting it a little bit out of the toe. So, and that's all set up by the way that you are organized there at address. So you can see here on the right hand side, David's got you in a position where your forearms are parallel to one another. And if we go ahead and just let the image on the right hand side move back and forth, okay, you can see just a little rocking of the shoulders, keeping that connection between the arms and the chest. So you can see a very simplified looking stroke there with a nice rhythm, a 1-2 rhythm. All right, you can see here on the left hand side sort of a short backswing and then an abbreviated sort of push follow through where the eyes raise up earlier. We should also note that we changed your grip. You can see the index finger of the left hand is now on the outside of the fingers of the right hand as opposed to inside. So certainly a lot of adjustments at setup to create the right motion to hit solid putts. That being getting you in a good position, a little flex in the legs, again tilted from the hips with the arms hanging, but this time we have the arms parallel to one another. Okay, the motion controlled through the movement of the chest and the arms and the upper body primarily, and the ball position obviously a little bit back and the head a little bit more centered with the left eye over the ball. So not as much of a forward open look to the upper body and head segment. Let's have a look from the down the line view here. And we'll have a look at your initial image down the line. So you can see there how nicely organized you are on the right. We should also mention that we shorten the putter. So the putter actually fits you. You can see your initial putter size, if we look here on the right, quite a bit of the grip showing. So really not in unison with the putter fit when you initially started there. So very important that we dialed in the correct putter size for you, which enables you to get in good posture, and then from there again just create a nice rhythm whereby the chest, shoulders and arms work in sync there. You can see a nice compact follow through there. Here on the left hand side we can see a little bit of a heave at the ball as you sort of push it and look there. You can see the chest opening up quite a bit more. The follow through for a 10-12 foot putt, very long there on the right hand side. That's more reminiscent of maybe a 20-25 footer. So basically getting you more connected, getting you dialed in with the right putter fit, and getting you organized at address a lot more square is going to enable you to have a much more efficient compact stroke. And you can see there with David's help rocking your shoulders, you have a really good outline to the stroke there. Let's go ahead and let this run on the right hand side a couple of times just so you can see the shape of the stroke. And again, you're just working on concept here, but you can see how much more efficient this motion looks with the arms connected, starting from a square posture position there. Very good. All right, let's move on to some chipping. Big thing with your chipping again is, and it's interesting, the whole theme really running through your game is to get a little bit more organized at address and simplify the overall motion. So if we look at Trevor chipping here, we can see again that his setup, if we go ahead and bring up a chipping image here, his setup is just a lot more compact than yours. The feet are slightly closer together. The hands are just slightly forward of the golf ball with the weight slightly forward. And from there he can have a little movement, a little rocking of the shoulders, accompanied by a little wrist hinge, albeit very subtle. And then he can just turn his chest onto the shot for a nice compact finish. In your case, because you don't have any set, you're having to sort of extend the length of your backswing, and then to get the ball to travel where you need it to, you're having to again overuse your body, hands and arms through it. So you can see for a similar length shot, you've got a lot of excess motion. So we really want to simplify the motion. So if we look at Trevor's action here from the address position, let's go ahead and bring it back. So you can see very simple setup, nice and tidy, hands slightly forward, ball position middle to back, weight slightly forward, maybe about 70% weight forward, hands slightly forward, more in line with the inside of the left thigh, and the ball position middle to back. And then from there it's just a little rock of the shoulders accompanied by a little hinging of the wrists, and then turning onto the golf ball with the chest, hands and arms and club in unison there. So that's a great outline there for you to be able to look at. Let's go ahead and have a look at that once more. Nice tidy setup, nice and narrow stance, hands forward, weight forward, just slightly. Little hinge on the way back, accompanied by a rocking of the shoulders, turning the chest on the way through to a compact finish position. And that's what all good greenside chipping is about. You know, as you move off the green, if you will, into some rough situations, it's a similar action, but you're going to need more loft, certainly, and you can extend the motion to, again, have a little bit more wrist action involved with a slightly open face, and that's a very useful shot when you're in some greenside rough around the green to get some momentum in the club head and certainly loft the ball onto the putting surface there. So slightly longer action when you are in the rough. Opening the club face, certainly, if you need to land it in there softly, getting some wrist hinge going so you set the angle of attack for a little bit more steepness, which enables you to slide the club head under the ball for a nice soft landing on the green. So it makes it easy controlling those short greenside shots. All right? Excellent stuff. Let's move on to a little bit of pitching here. All right, so we'll have a look at Trevor hitting some pitch shots. Now, your initial pitching action, we could see a lot of similarities again, Toro, to your full swing. So again, we don't need to overuse the body at address, so you can have a slightly narrower stance. And with that grip more in the fingers of the left hand, your posture more athletic, your hand sitting a little bit lower, it's going to make it easier to set your wrist, because you can see your initial images there, your wrists were a little bit fused, weren't really setting your wrists. So you can see in Trevor's case, setting his wrists nicely. You can see sort of an overswing with your arms on the way back. And a little bit of overuse of your body on the way through. You can see in Trevor's case here, feet staying nice and quiet, really emphasizing the turning of his chest and the releasing of the club through the rehinge of the wrist. So the feet really want to stay a little bit more quiet there. You can see that with his feet. Your feet are a little bit more active, particularly that right foot. So you don't need quite as much movement in your lower body there. So from this particular angle, the things that we're seeing, the main differences, feet can be a smidge narrower there. Again, getting the grip in the fingers, getting the hands a little lower, and not quite as far forward with the hand position. From there, it's a simple turn going back, keeping the hands nice and low, the club head outside the hands initially, and setting the club up on its end, nice and steep, as opposed to this sort of rolly luck where you roll the club into a flat position without much set. And now as you come back, you'll be able to keep your feet on the ground and get your chest working through as Trevor is demonstrating. Let's have a look at this from down the line. So you can see how adjacent his hands are to his body there. Toro, nice and compact. Remember, with shorter clubs, your setup wants to, the distance the hands and arms are from the club becomes smaller relative to, let's say, a driver or your fairway clubs, which need a little bit more extension address. So you want to stay nice and compact and cozy there with your shorter shots. You can see in Trevor's case, keeps the club head outside his hands initially, setting the club up on its end. In your case here, a little bit high and rolly off the ball, okay, with that extra reach that you have at address. And certainly the clubs played a role in that, the fact that they're a little bit too long, but you can see rolling that left arm a little bit early gets the club inside on a very flat plane, and a little extra length there. And now as you come back, you've always done a good job in all your initial images of getting the club back on the ball, but again, we just want to be more efficient in how we do it. And you can see Trevor not having to do a whole lot other than just let the club track into place as his chest rotates through to the target. Note again, Toro, quiet feet. Okay, so we want to keep the chest moving, but the feet, particularly the right foot, a little bit more grounded. And again, goes back to the same concept as your full swing, simplifying it, tightening it up, making it more efficient, not having so much motion from address, going into the backswing, having the club in a simpler, more organized position early on, not quite a long position, not quite a flat position, and certainly keeping your lower half on your smaller pitch shots a lot more compact. All right, so that's your pitching. And then finally, let's have a look at some sand play here. So you can see the main difference in the sand at address starts with your ball position. In Trevor's case, the ball position is more forward in the stance. All right, your ball position here tends to be more middle to back. Also note the club face here. You want to open the club face before you take your grip so that you can slide the club through the sand and get the bounce working. Your club face is very square. So you got your ball back and the club face square, which accompanied with your full swing tendencies of not setting your wrists. All right, the fact that you don't set your wrists with that shut club face and the ball back, and then the extra length in your swing means you've got to hang back on your right foot here. So you're hanging back now and almost sort of scooping or helping the ball up onto the green. So you can see you got a lot of weight or pressure under your right foot in an effort to add loft and bounce to the club. In Trevor's case, with the nice open face, he's able to turn back, keep the swing nice and compact. Then with the open face, simply continue to move into his left side, slide that club under the ball for a shallow take of sand, and release onto his forward side. So you can see all his momentum here, Toro, on his forward side. And that's really all based around getting the setup right. If you can get the club face open at address, keep the ball position forward and the weight slightly forward. So you want about 70% weight forward, ball position forward, club face open. That will enable you to turn back, keep the hands nice and low, the club head outside the hands, set it up nicely, and then simply turn through into your left side to add momentum to the shot onto a good finish position. You can see with a square club face, the ball back, and then that extra length. As you change direction, your instincts realize that the ball may not come out as you would like it with that club face so square, so you end up hanging back, the ball position's back, so you have to scoop it / help it out from that position. All right. So anyway, that's putting, chipping, pitching, and sand play, in addition to all your full swing information on this DVD. It was an absolute pleasure working with you. We feel like you made lots of progress during your time with us. Let's take a final look at some swing setter swings here. You can see you're doing a flow drill here. This swing setter is really going to be a huge asset to you in keeping all of these improvements long-lasting, and certainly even improving upon the work that you did here with David, taking it to a next level. So plenty of training with your swing setter, lots of practice on your short game, particularly your putting. I think it's going to make a big difference. Work on your distance control with your putting on some 10 footers, 20 footers, 30 footers, and with some new equipment, correctly sized equipment, particularly with the putter, I think we feel like you're going to make some great progress going forward. It's a pleasure again to have you here at ChampionsGate, and we look forward to staying in touch and hearing of your progress down the road. Great job, Toro. Take care, and we'll be in touch. Bye-bye.